All right, so something cool showed up for the MK8 GTI, or shop car. Been waiting for a little bit. Took a little longer than I anticipated, but it's here, so let's take a look at it. AWE, CatBack, AWE hooking us up with the shop car. This is a touring with black tips, so let's get to it. Okay, I had to stop recording because I'm by myself and I needed some help. The packaging is on point, I'll put it to you that way. It was a lot of work to get all that out. But everything looks perfect. I don't see a single dent, scratch, nothing on any of this stuff. So let's go over it. So again, this is a touring model. The reason why I did the touring is because I think I'm getting old and I don't want it loud. But I think this will be really mellow on a stock downpipe car. So we have a downpipe for this car, and I think this combo with the downpipe is gonna be perfect. But we're gonna do this first, and maybe I'll order the pipe to do a track version and we can do a comparison. But for right now, we're gonna do a touring and stock to touring only. So this is my favorite part about the kit. And if you've seen the car, we've pretty much murdered it out. It's all black everything. So my biggest gripe is the dang chrome tips on it right now because it doesn't flow with the car, but check these things out. These are massive. But I think these are gonna look really good with the car. So, all right, guys, pretty excited. So I'm gonna get the car pulled in and I am going to start removing the other stuff. But before I do that, I'm gonna take some stock sound clips, even though you all know exactly what a stock GTI sounds like, but we're gonna do it anyways. And then we're gonna get all this installed and fire it up, see what it sounds like with the AWE touring version on the GTI and black chrome tips. So let's get it. Alright, got the stock exhaust off. I always do it by unbolting the hangers. It's easier to get these rubbers hangered off down here on the ground than it is trying to do it and hold the exhaust and get it off on the car. So gonna get those pulled off and we'll start installing the new one. Alright, so it's been like this for a while from Volkswagen, but they don't have a hanger here. But it's welded to the frame, but there's no hanger on the actual exhaust. So AWE sends you a rubber hanger to put on here, and this is like your midsection by the gas tank. So we're gonna pop that on there. Okay, so I got the adapter pipe into the factory slip clamp. The nuts are always on the top, so they're kind of hard to loosen or tighten from factory. So every time I do an exhaust, I flip this over so the nuts are down on the bottom, so it's easier. I'm not leaving this like this. This is just to hold this in place while we get the rest of the exhaust in. This is tight enough to like hold it, but it's loose enough for me to slide or rotate as needed as we put the rest of this exhaust in. So you can see it's staying in kind of temporary position right now, but if I need to move it down a little bit or up a little bit as we work along, I can. And it's in the hanger for right now. Kind of got good space, so I'm gonna keep working through here. Okay, so I got it mocked up about as level as I can get right now from what I can see, and center as I can get before I tighten everything out. We get the tips on it, get that all situated, and then we'll lock everything down. But see, I try to keep all the clamps on the same side. I flip these ones back just so you can't see them from the rear part of the car. Other than that, the fitment and everything on this has been solid, super solid, like always. I've ran a bunch of their exhausts in the past and never had an issue. So looks really nice. Get all my handprints and everything cleaned off of this before we fire it up. Get this clamp rotated where I want it, and then we'll be ready to hear this thing. But so far, really happy with it. Nice little thing I see AW doing on these double wall tips is they have heat vent holes, one on top, one on the bottom. Now this is smart because in the past I've seen where when these get hot and cold and hot and cold and expand, there's this hard edge right here. And over the years, eventually they'll crack, like right here. Or crack all the way around or whatever. So I like the fact that they put these little vent holes so these can heat up, expand, cool off properly, and I'm sure it keeps them from cracking. Okay, in the kit, you're gonna get two of these, and these are little slide-on locking collars. And what this does is allow you to set this where you need to. I'm centered. Exhaust tips are lined up and centered, and I'm happy with that. So this is all centered, so to keep it from moving around and touching the exhaust tips, touching the valence and stuff like that, you put these on the end of these hangers here. So I've already set this one. Boom. And I'll put this one on this end there, and then this will keep all this from shifting over into hangers on the slider part of the hanger. So keeps everything nice and tight and where it needs to be. Okay, final step to any exhaust system that you install. Harleys, motorcycles, especially stainless, you get all this oil and handprints and fingerprints and everything off of this. Otherwise, as soon as this gets hot, you're gonna burn all that stuff into the pipe, and it's gross and ugly, and when you take it off later to resell it, someone's gonna be like, wow, that thing looks like crap. So my choice is acetone and a microfiber, so we're just gonna start wiping this down. This thing looks sweet. Got it all cleaned up. Everything's all lined up. Dude, these black tips look so good. Especially on a black car like this. Whew. Dude, those are sweet. Oh, I'm so excited. Thanks, AWE. Ah, yeah. That's the car needed right there. All right, got the new AWE installed. I'm gonna fire it up here in a second. I just want to go over a couple things. Make sure you wipe everything down and clean it, especially the exhaust tips. You don't want to ruin those nice black exhaust tips. Those things are. The other thing is there's gonna be oils and grease and stuff in the pipes from the mandrel bending process. So once it gets warm, it starts to smoke a little bit, or some stuff blows out when you fire it up, or even getting some oil residue on the tips after your first few drives. Don't freak out. You didn't blow a turbo or something like that because you put a CatBack on your car. Second thing, we're a dealer for AWE, and most of it's sitting on the shelf and can ship within a day or two versus being built to order off of AWE's website. So if you guys want one, get over to the website and grab one. If you can't find what you want there, email us, and either me or Jalen will get you a quote and we can get some out the door. But anyways, let's fire this thing up. It is super mellow at idle, like very mellow, almost stock, a little bit deeper. Also, while I was under here, I put this insert in from ECS. I didn't do a video on it. You guys are all pretty familiar how to do this, but pull these 2 bolts, pull this bolt, slide the dog bone mount out, slide the insert in with some grease, slide this back in, put the bolts back in. Same here with the billet spacer, and yeah, should help our wheel hop problem. Now we have some intake upgrades. Nothing crazy, but honestly, on a stock turbo car, what we've seen from Mark 6, 7s, and everything up from there, the stock intakes work really good. Good flowing inlet, silicone tube, pull the snow guard and shit out of the box, and a good flowing filter, and they work pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and slap that in now, and then well, it's pretty much gonna wrap it up for stage 1. All right, so I live where there's not snow. This is the factory snow guard. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull this out. And there we go. This is brand new, so I'm gonna run the stock filter for right now until it's dirty, and then I will put something else in there. But now we gotta pull this off and the inlet off, and I'll show you guys what we're gonna use here. This thing fits nice. It's one of the nicest fitting inlets I've ever put on. All right, that's gonna wrap up our stage 1 setup for the Mark 8 GTI. You can get the tunes on the website. Pump gas all the way up to E85. You do not have to have an intake and a CatBack for it, but it does help, and there's some nice little extra bonus. These are the brands we suggest and brands we like to use as far as quality, performance, and anything else. So help the car breathe a little bit in the front, help it breathe a little better, out the back, and dialed. So let me know what you guys think. We're gonna roll into stage 2 here soon. So for us, that'll be downpipe. I am gonna do a downpipe only tune. And then this is like our carb legal setup right here. The only other thing we were gonna do or are gonna do to finish a max effort carb legal setup for a stock downpipe is add an intercooler, but we're working through the phases of the build pretty much and developing something for each individual scenario pretty much, and allows us to cater and tailor our tune files to specific individuals, because you may only have an intake, your car may be built stock, your car might have a downpipe only, so on and so forth. So we're going to cover it all. That way we make sure we give you the best product. Like, subscribe, hit that little thumbs up button for me, and I'll see you guys on the next one.